welcome Gonzaga representatives to the stage. We'll issue our standard reminder that when you have a question, please raise your hand and we'll send a microphone your way. And if you could direct questions into the microphone and to specific student athletes, that would be helpful. We have student athletes Brandon Clark and Killian Tilley with us. And we'll ask Coach Few to make a brief opening statement and then turn it over to questions for student athletes. Once they're exhausted, we'll dismiss them and return to questions for Coach. Coach Few?
Well, just a great performance by my guys here. I thought they did just an excellent job in all facets of the game. Obviously, it started on the defensive end in the first half. After watching Fairleigh Dickinson, they came in on quite a roll. The guards were really shooting it well, and their bigs were athletic and very good around the rim, and so that kind of had us concerned. But by and large, our intensity was good. Our attention to detail was excellent, like it's been all year. And then that led to us getting out and running. And when we can get out and run like that and share the ball, I think we had over 20 assists. That's a really, really good thing. So very proud of them, and obviously good to get the first one under the belt so we can get moving on.
Questions for Gonzaga student athletes?
This is for Tilly. So you've had a rough go at it this season. How nice is it to, and this is your most points you scored this season, how nice is it to really get out there and start feeling it a little bit?
It feels great. You know, being back with my teammates is really fun. I think they did a great job, playing with me, and I did a great job playing with them. So I think it was a pretty good night tonight. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And for Clark, Tilly had a pretty impressive dunk late in that second half. You know, you're usually the high flyer,
yeah.
And Tilly went over two guys there. How cool is that to see?
Yeah, no, that was actually really, really crazy. I feel like I've been waiting for that moment for him, honestly, because he actually, I don't think that he's had a dunk yet this season, and I've been waiting on it personally, and that one was just crazy dunk. You know, it was I think it was over two guys. So obviously, that just shows how bouncy he is, and plus if he can shoot threes too, and floaters too. So obviously he's a really, really tough player to deal with. So obviously if he can do that, we're going to be a really, really tough team to beat. Of course, man.
More questions?
FDU is one of the best three-point shooting teams in the country for either of you. What was your game plan to stop their three-point shooting?
Brandon?
Yeah, I would just say, we were just trying to not really gap off of, I believe his name is Edge, and also Jenkins, and also their four-man. I feel like that we did a really, really good job at, doing like two things at once. So kind of being like in the gap and then getting out on the shooter still. I just feel like we had a really, really good focus on the defensive end tonight doing that. So that made it harder for them to hit threes.
More questions for the student athletes? All right, we'll let these gentlemen go, and when they've left the stage, we'll turn it over to questions for Coach. Thank you, guys. Questions for Coach Few?
Mark, you guys are awesome offensively, and you have been most of the season. Everyone knows that, but I wondered what you thought defensively. You guys were so good, especially early. They just looked like you would really have punched them in the face, and they didn't really know how to recover.
Yeah, again, I loved our intensity from the jump. You nailed it. But also a great attention to detail. And we've been pretty good with that all year of finding the scouting report, understanding it, and then taking it out on the floor. And I thought the combination of both those, a great intensity, and then a physicality around the rim. What I saw from Fairleigh on film was they're playing three bigs now, and they're good size. They walk out on the floor. you don't think it's a 16 seed, just their presence. And thought we did a good job handling the physicality with our vertical contests and got up and blocked some shots, which we've done all year. And again, when we're doing that, that kind of gets us out running, and we're obviously at our best when we're out running.
So it was just about a month ago that Tilly left the game with that partially torn ligament in his foot. It was a pretty brutal moment for you. You talked about how much Tilly meant and how wonderful he was to coach. How much joy does it bring you to see him back out on the court?
Just an absolute incredible amount of joy and satisfaction to see, somebody that worked so hard, had such a great year last year for us. And then, the practice before we go down to play Florida State, he kind of has this fluke injury, so he wasn't able to obviously to play in that game, and then he had to miss a bunch of the offseason, kind of getting back in the fold, and then hurt his foot again and had surgery. And actually, it's funny you say that because with the date, because right the night it happened, the trainer and I and Tills were, looking at this. Okay, we're going to play on the Thursday or the Friday. Okay, here's what we got to work with. And it's a plantar fascia tear, but I think we can do this. And he did a great job staying positive. I mean, he had a bad run of luck there, so it's just awesome to see. And I think you guys can all see, if you forgot. I mean, he's a hell of a player.
Mark, Zach did so much for you guys tonight. 13 points,
Yep.
7 assists, 6 rebounds.
7 assists.
Yeah.
I like that.
And I think he would probably say he did, he only went 4 for 12. He'd probably be mad at how he shot it. But I was curious, when you watched him when he was in high school and AAU, did you imagine that he could do this, that he could really fill a stat sheet for you? Or did you think he would be mostly a shooter?
Well, I mean, obviously we hoped we could get some development out of him. I mean, I was happened to be able to watch the game. I think he had 14 or 15 threes in one of the back gyms in Vegas. And obviously that's what really initially caught my eye. But the other thing that always caught my eye during the recruiting process with Zach was just what a great leader he was. Simeon's got an awesome history of basketball, and he was without a doubt the leader on that team, and he's really rounded into quite a leader for us also. And I think I'm probably most proud of that. And then he was the guy that spent most of the night on Darnell Edge, who is an excellent player and came in on just an absolute roll. And Snacks did a nice job, making it a tough night for him.
More questions for Coach? All right, thank you, Coach.
All right, you got it.